My name is James Pieratt, and I ran a 500-mile ultramarathon on the Pacific Crest Trail alone, carrying all the supplies on my back. And this is a secret for mental toughness that I learned from Napoleon Bonapart, the guy who almost conquered the entire world. Make sure you stick around for the end as well, because there is one bonus secret that is, quite frankly, what I call the nuclear option. It is so powerful that it will get you through any obstacle, but it will take a piece of your soul in the process. So be wary, but make sure you stick around at the end for that. So anyone who knows about Napoleon knows that he was not the most physically intimidating guy. Yet, as a low-ranking immigrant, he managed to not only become the emperor of a country, but lead that country against the rest of the world, to the point that all of Europe needed to gang up against him half a dozen times before they could beat him once. So how did he do this? Well, short answer, the guy's discipline and his mindset were just next level. Okay, he had nothing else going for him, quite frankly. His discipline, his boldness, and his mental fortitude were just on such another level that no one could stop him. And he had one particular trick for dealing with life when things got hard or when there was a lot going on. He felt burnt out or drained, and he would use this trick in the depths of the campaigns, in the depths of winter, when he was surrounded on all sides, when everything seemed lost, and this trick would allow him to turn everything around. Now, for the actual secret that Napoleon used. He would imagine that his mind was a large dresser with many different drawers in it, and every time he felt something that would trouble him or bother him, he would find a place in one of the drawers for it. And he would have these drawers all organized based on the natural lay of his mind. And whenever something came up, he, over years of practice and discipline, would be able to file it into its appropriate drawer and deal with it at its appropriate time, and not have all these different thoughts and emotions and fears and doubts constantly storming through his mind. Now, I adopted that same practice for ultramarathon running, because as you're pushing your body to these depths, you're going to be feeling things that you've never felt before, that most human beings will never feel. Levels of pain, discomfort, doubt, hallucinations, delusions. You could lose a sense, you could go blind or deaf temporarily, hopefully. And so these are all things you kind of have to be prepared for going in. Now, I tell all of my athletes and myself, before you do anything like this, you have to understand and agree with yourself on what you're willing to do. Where's your line, I like to say. Where's the line that you're going to fall back on and defend at all cost? So when I start dealing with these things, when I start feeling these things, the pain, the doubt, the fatigue, I make sure everything goes into its proper drawer. If something floods into my mind, I just gently open the drawer and tuck it back in the drawer where it's supposed to go. Okay, I have a drawer for the pain, a drawer for the fatigue, a drawer for the thirst and the doubt, all these different things. And you're not ignoring these things, but you're putting them in their proper place and dealing with them at their proper time. And it's a way to keep your mind organized. It's in many ways like a very, very Japanese way of viewing the world, and very samurai. And it is an immeasurable resource in terms of stoicism and in terms of mental focus, because as you go through your day, your mind is constantly flooded and clouded and distracted with a million different things, and you start to identify with these things, you start to believe these things, and they start to corrupt your way of thinking. When you put yourself in a situation that demands a high degree of mental fortitude, that effect only increases. Your brain's going to start looking for an exit. You're going to start wondering, what can I do to make this stop? And you'll worst of all, start reasoning. You'll start making deals with yourself. Oh, okay, well, I didn't actually want to do this anyway. Maybe this isn't that important. This is stupid. No one's watching, so what's the point of doing it anyway? It's not going to make any difference. So those are the most dangerous conversations you can have when you're under pressure. So make sure that everything goes to its proper drawer and things don't flood out into your mind. You don't start identifying with the wrong things. If all of that fails, there is one more thing you can do. Now, I saved this for the end because it's a nuclear option. It's not something that you want to bust out every day, every time you run, or every time, even in every race, but because it will take something from you. It will take a piece of your soul, quite frankly. But if you use this trick, nothing can stop you if you learn to leverage this trick properly. And so the nuclear option is this. When you feel like you are losing the battle, when you feel like you're being beaten down and fatigued, imagine that you, everything you are and everything you love, every person, everything that you love, your family, whatever it is, that you, your tribe, your people, are on one side of a line, and you are standing on that line. And in front of you is an immeasurable force of darkness that hopes to consume them. And you tell yourself that everything you do, what you do here and now, will be the determining factor. It will be the battle that pushes or fails to push back that darkness. And if you can convince your mind at some level that that is actually true, even just a sliver of your subconscious, you will not break. Okay, you're not going to do that in front of the people you love. You're not going to do that with everything. With them on the line, truly in your mind, you're not going to stop. You'll never break. The downside of this is it will take a piece of your soul every time. I don't know how else to describe it, and as dramatic as that seems, it's the truth. And as a guy who ran for the last 9 hours of a non-stop 33-hour run with broken feet and 35 pounds on my back, I'll tell you that the trick works, but it takes a piece from you. I woke up the next day after that event with gray hairs I didn't have the day before. Okay, a new patch of gray hairs on my temple. So the mind and the body are one thing, and if you convince the mind of a powerful enough idea, the body will respond, but that comes with a cost. So there you have it.